God. So frightening. Hello, everybody. We are the Baron Munchausen. We're all immortal beings, as you can tell. We've seen a bit here and there. I'd like to think we always have been, always will be, long after your bodies have rotted away to nothingness. We just thought we'd come by for a skosh and tell you some stories from our lives. Wouldn't that be fun? So what we need from y'all is just one of the many time periods that we've lived through. Just shout one out.
Ancient Greece.
Ancient Greece.
Specifically, immediately after the Library of Alexandria.
That seems more like an ancient Rome sort of situation, but sure, ancient Greece immediately after the Library of Alexandria burned down. That was a good time.
I remember that. Oh yeah, no, it was.
Achilles was king.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, only of Thebes, but it meant a lot to him.
Everybody was named Helen. Hellenization of the entire.
I remember most of the country was owned by librarians, and when it burned down, all fines were gone. Everyone was
really remarkable. That's what led to the bankruptcy of modern day Greece.
Yeah, no,
because they really needed that income.
They did.
Ancient Greece, specifically immediately after the Library of Alexandria burned down, was a time when gods, sometimes got around. They weren't coming up as much as they used to, but you could see Pan every once in a while.
Yeah,
or a
Zeus,
Demeter.
Zeus still slept with like every woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the lesser known gods were like, oh, the big gods are napping, so let's try to.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You saw
Just
guys
trying to disrupt this guy.
Yeah, Pan,
Steve, Spicillus,
Yeah.
Baal,
Ophiuchus.
I mean, we could go on. There were hundreds.
And I will.
Oh boy, ancient Greece. If I'm not mistaken, that's where the scooter was invented.
Yes.
And it was a real annoying thing.
It was.
Olive oil was banned
Olive oil was banned.
because that's what started the fire.
It was.
Finally got to the bottom of that mystery.
Most socialization happened in the gymnasium, which stood for nude athletics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bathing was just was actually abolished at the time because bathing was.
There were a lot of banned things.
Olive oil.
in
Well,
ancient
bathing
Greece.
was putting olive oil on yourself and scraping it off with a stick for some reason.
It was a time of fascism, totalitarianism,
And wild parties.
Yes. Oh my God.
Hells yeah.
Oh boy. It felt like you were going to say something.
Yes, I was going to say, I remember growing up in ancient Greece at the time of the fall of the Library of Alexandria, when I had two parents that were both lesser known deities.
Why, I remember trying to come up with a new first name other than Helen.
I remember being on the banning committee, deciding all the things we should ban.
I remember having the last known copy of a comedy.
I remember discovering who actually started that fire in the library.
Oh boy. Nolan, which story would you like to hear?
I think I'd like to hear about the banning committee.
Well, things were pretty bad in ancient Rome, Greece, right after the burning down of the Library of Alexandria.
That's all that's left.
Yep. It's a rough time for all, and
All I know how to do is read, and it's all gone now. I have no other skills.
it's very clear we had a lot of things at our disposal, and we needed a lot less things.
Whoa, watch out for that sharp edge. Can't believe they would just leave it out there for you to hurt yourself on.
I don't know how to interact with the real world. All I know is about narrative structure.
See, all I had done for nearly my entire life was read books. Things like The Velveteen Rabbit, The Adventures of Dritz de Werden, and Time Magazine.
You know, you really gotta respect those women.
You did.
I'll make
it's
up
gone now.
my mind on that in a few hundred years. Hey, I know you're sad after having the one thing that you love taken away from you.
Yeah, I am.
I think I've got something that'll cheer you up.
Can I?
I'll carry you to it.
He carried me to a tavern where a bard was playing music off in the corner.
This one's called Wonderwall. Oh, come on, the hat's right here. You can throw some coins in.
Bard, I'm Helen. I'm sorry to. Turns out something came down from King Achilles, and well, the loot's no longer allowed anywhere. And we're gonna talk to our Grand Destroyer about destroying the one thing that you love.
It was then that I realized what I'd been given, the greatest gift of all.
Don't blink. Watch it all happen.
I could take away everything from everyone. I took away all
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Vote Achilles in the next non-election.
I'm gonna go brood with my brother.
I banned brooding first.
Ah, shit!
I'm gonna ban his brother. I'm coming for your brother next.
Banning people is called murder. Which I conveniently didn't ban.
We're going a little crazy with the banning and all the murder. I mean, don't you think that we banned enough? I mean, look at this series of things that we've banned as they carry them out of town.
Babies.
All murdered.
This pet rock. Good times.
Sparta kills a bunch of babies. Everyone thinks they're cool.
Yeah. Right.
I don't have anything to say about the pet rock. I kind of regret that one. That was a rough morning.
It was at that moment I realized I had banned everything everyone loved, but I hadn't banned the one thing that took away everything I loved.
You have to ban books, I guess.
Fire.
Fire! I'm really glad I was smarter than Helen.
It's been a rough morning.
Gotta.
You can't just go banning fire. Prometheus is gonna get upset.
He's trapped on a mountain. What's he gonna do? Send his eagle buddies after me?
And he
Come
did.
get me. Give him.
And thus the banning committee was disbanded because I was killed. It was really rough, but you know, I learned a lot about myself and maybe a little bit about all of us.
Yeah.
Even though none of you were there. This was rough, but I can't imagine how rough it must have been having two lesser deities for parents.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I'll go ahead and dish. Yeah. I would like to say my childhood was typical of the times, although that's not exactly true. We had the typical trappings that you would expect in the time of Greece after the fall of the Library of Alexandria. We had...
Watch out for the leaf pit.
Yep.
Yes, Father.
We were a very agrarian-based society, so we had our leaf pit and a mud house, all the trappings of an upper-class family.
More wine? It's all we have.
Yep, my parents were the gods of farming and dirt.
Dirt. Have you played with the dirt today, honey?
Yes, Father. I'm building an oven.
You don't build things out of the dirt. You just lie in it and then rot into it.
Go back to the dirt. Back to the dirt.
They were always smothering me with their loving instincts and
Back to
know-how.
the dirt.
Honey, dirt. That's the inner.
My dad had his folksy sayings, my mom had her attachment. It made me the laughing stock at Alexandria after the fall high.
You got significantly more dirt on your face than the rest of us.
So much dirt. So much dirt.
Almost God.
The other kids' dads and moms were super cool gods.
I'm on a skateboard.
I don't make anyone fall in love with anyone, but I just use it to make them fall in love with me.
Your mom is so cool.
I'm smoking. Suck it, nerd.
The only thing I could do was turn to my studies. I figured I'd found a book about how to become a god myself and realized they were just mortals that had been blessed with certain powers. So I figured this was...
Step 1, find a heroic quest.
Huh. Step 2, complete heroic quest.
Step 3, be a man.
Wow, that's so easy. I have definitely 2 of those.
Step
Well, the
1.
elusive third one, a heroic task, was quite elusive.
What to do? I could go kill something, like a giant serpent. No, Hercules already killed that thing. Maybe I could.
I paced and paced for hours upon hours, throwing everything at the wall that would try to see if something would stick. Both figuratively and literally.
Alright. I think the only thing I'm gonna be able to do is, I don't know, marry Zeus or something.
Yep.
I know he likes women. Maybe a couple men. And he's also cool, not cool with people trying to take over.
Hey man, I hear Zeus is coming into town later today.
Oh man.
I hope no one takes advantage of that. No, I'm gone. I'm gone.
As I said, they were so cool.
Mom and Dad always drinking wine and shoving dirt in my mouth.
I'd have to work on that years later.
Honey, I noticed that you haven't had your 8 glasses of wine yet. You really need to drink up, or you're not gonna stay hydrated.
I was making a costume instead out of the dirt that you gave me, and the sacks of wine.
Well, you know what?
I was at IDK so embarrassed. When I was a teenager, I was in high school. I thought I never stood a chance, so I went out to the road just to pout and get out my angst.
Be careful, you don't want to let that pouting turn into brooding.
But that stranger who approached me seemed like he had something about him that was different than the other men in town.
Sorry, I'm walking back this way.
He was directionally challenged.
You're glowing.
You notice? Yeah, I guess you could say I glow a little.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Sir and or madam, pardon?
My name is Helen.
Ooh, exotic.
He was DTF. That stands for, you know.
Sir, are you down to fruit?
Yep. Mom and Dad had taught me well. Earth tones.
I
It's
have.
the craziest thing. I'd love to fruit, but I can only fruit in a wine-soaked dirt patch. I can't find any of those around here, so I guess I'm just gonna.
I have just the place for you.
We ran quickly back to the bedroom I grew up in. The bedroom adorned with the posters of all my heroes.
Yes.
Nina!
Only time that this has ever done good things for me.
What are you talking about? Wine and dirt's the best thing ever.
Yeah, I had him hooked.
Give me another handful of that dirt. Gentle though, I'm trying to eat it.
And that night we became one and we became a slightly medium cool god deity. Our superpower was, of course,
Well, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna give you a little something special. You can be the god of everybody kind of passively aggressively hating you.
that's how I got rid of my, grew outside of my parents' deity.
Cool story, do we?
Yeah, cool, yeah.
That explains a lot, like why I don't actually like you.
Yeah.
You had more hair.
I did, yeah, long flowing locks.
Yeah.
You had a good story. Okay. You had a good story. I feel like I've heard it a lot, but
Yeah, no, I do love to tell it because it's the only thing I know.
you mind to tell us how you got that moniker?
Oh boy, so back in olden days, about 15 years ago, anytime a baby was born, it'd just be named Helen. Nobody really knew why. Sometimes people tried to think outside the box,
I'm gonna name that one
but it always came out the same.
Heron. Wait, that doesn't sound like Helen. It's Helen. it's always Helen!
I was prone to fits of rage in those days. I've mellowed out a bit since then.
I'm sorry. It's a very lovely Helen.
Thank you.
I hope he'll be a hero.
I was laughed out of all of the gymnasiums because I kept trying to find a name other than Helen. I could have sworn, I said, we know our king's name is Achilles, how can we not come up with something else?
We got Achilles. The library was named after Alexandria.
Do you mean Helen? I only know her by Helen.
There was a crazy block
Oh my
in
God.
everybody's minds.
There's some sort of anti-mimetic thing going on here and I don't quite understand.
My name's Helen. Your name's Helen. Helen.
And then the entire town joined in.
My name's Helen. My name's Helen. Helen.
Yes, I know the song!
For days this went on,
My name's Helen.
Your name's
but eventually it faded out and I didn't hear it anymore.
I told you, Liam, nobody likes it.
Oh.
After years and years of research, I thought I was at my wit's end. I ended up in a bar one night, as I did most nights.
This isn't a book, this is a basin of water.
And that's when I overheard a small piece of knowledge that would later prove very helpful.
So Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as she's walking.
What fucking thing did you just say?
Oasis, bro.
No! You said a name that was not the same name as everyone is named.
See, I get this all the time. See, my name's Noel Gallagher. I've got a brother named Liam Gallagher, but I hate him.
Cool.
Sally, I said.
Sally!
Buy my record,
And
please.
then the knowledge started flowing into my head. All sorts of names. Names of yesteryear, names of tomorrow.
Chromsler. Winston.
10,000 variations of the name Ashley. It all flowed in. It all left.
There's a Q in this one!
I knew then there was some evil force behind it. So I paid my tab with a pithy saying,
If you didn't break it, I broke it.
and I was on my way. I ran down the street just as fast as I could, which was actually quite slow, in order to try and catch that bard, the Gallagher man.
Gallagher! Gallagher, please, I'm very large.
For 40 days and nights this went on.
Gallagher! I was very large when we started, but I become ripped as a god!
I was a god of rock once. People listen to me.
We were all some sort of god.
It was 40 days and nights. I was very tired. I hadn't had any water. Besides that basin I was playing in earlier.
I wrote Champagne Supernova.
It's then that I think it was Noel Gallagher told me why all the names had been taken away.
all the good songs had already been written about people, so we just decided to simplify things. That way everybody can sing along. Everybody in the town can sing one song, one voice.
That is... I am legitimately having a mental breakdown.
My name's Helen. Your name's Helen.
I had to find the other gods of music.
It's not Helen.
And get them to rescind the name of Helen.
You know, why hasn't anyone else tried this? Hey, gods of music! Yeah, why does everyone go searching for you guys? No one just asks, hey,
You should do a roll call and have all the gods name themselves.
oh yeah, what's your name again?
Maraca!
Yep.
That checks out.
Chicharrón!
Nowhere nearly in the realm of racism. No, that's cool. What's your
Noel fucking Gallagher from Oasis! I'm a rock god.
There was the god of rock, the god of light piano jazz, ironically, in Maraca. I'm the god of ska in the other one.
Can you guys maybe add, I don't know, stop the Helen atrocity that Gallagher started over here?
Doesn't know like hit.
I do know a hit. It is literally nothing that has flown out of your lips.
I realized then that I had defeated Noel Gallagher.
What is powers? Powers of
Yes! You sing my hipster song!
Ah!
Me gusta mucho. I know what we must do to stop everyone being named Helen.
How? What?
I'll just shake my maracas off beat, and then they won't be able to sing their song anymore.
Why not?
Play my trumpet.
You play other songs about women.
I had to sing all of the lyrics of all of the songs that I knew that included a woman's name.
Roxanne!
That was one.
Lucy in the sky,
Words flowing out at me like water.
This is a song. I know many things. Helena. No. Pulling out one Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy.
And then the spell was broken.
Oh.
I ascended down from the giant quarter note that I had somehow found myself on top of. And I wandered back into the town
I should get this insured.
to see whether my plan was successful.
You! Young boy! What is your name?
Bobby.
What is your baby's name?
Harry.
Yes! I've done it! Sorry, that baby is gonna be deaf now.
And that is how I did the single greatest thing any human being has ever done. Your applause is not quite enough for me, but